just having someone give me the opportunity or the chance to prove that I can do the job. It was like a catch-22 where you have to have the experience to get hired, but you have to hire me so I can get the experience. As we all know, HR is very broad, so I didn't know what area I wanted to go into. So I just wanted to kind of dibble and dabble in all of it. Being resourceful for the most part, making sure that I'm talking to as many different people as possible, considering people and things of that nature. Add value to my role, add value to my team, add value to the organization as a whole. I always enter like situations with that mindset of how can I add value.
Hi all, good morning. So today I have Marcoiya with us, who is an experienced and award-winning HR professional with expertise in talent acquisition, diversity and inclusion, and project management. She's certified in negotiation and event planning with a knack of developing innovative solutions. I spoke with her 1 year ago and we're connecting again when she joined Uber recently. She has moved her way up the ladder and she recently just got a promotion at her new job because of the efforts that into making sure that she finds the company the right talent. Let's welcome Marcoiya and 10 minutes of hiring wisdom. Hi Marcoiya, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. So Marcoiya, it's been a long time. What's been new?
New, quite a bit. I think before when I spoke to you, I was in a whole nother job at a different company. Now I'm at Uber. I've been at Uber since January of 2022. So a little bit over a year now. I'm in a new role, as you stated, recently promoted at my organization. Thank you so much. So a lot of exciting things going on here, honestly. New role, newer organization for me, and just kind of figuring it out.
Okay. I think one thing that remained consistent in your career throughout was that you've remained in the human resources in like specific field. Mm-hmm. Why human resources? What drew you to it? What exactly about your job is that you like it so much?
Yeah. So initially when I was trying to figure out my career, right after college graduation, I was kind of stuck in between marketing or HR. I did a little digging. I felt like, HR sounds fun. Maybe I'll try that. And so, I started doing contract work as an HR coordinator, HR assistant, HR clerk as a way to try to build on my experience in the area. And as we all know, HR is very broad. So I didn't know what area I wanted to go into. So I just wanted to kind of dibble and dabble in all of it. Eventually, I got more in the talent acquisition space. I realized I love talent acquisition. I love being able to support people on their career journey, getting life-changing opportunities to make more money, get into new roles, things of that nature. So, that's kind of the area that's decided that I wanted to progress in. And here I am now, in talent acquisition.
Okay. I think you touched upon the broad aspect of HR and how you dug deep and wanted to go into talent acquisition space. Mm-hmm. Because you've explored different options. According to you, Marcoiya, what are some of the biggest challenges HR professionals in the talent acquisition space face in the 21st century, especially 2023?
Mm-hmm. I know for myself personally, some of the things that I encountered early in my career was just having someone give me the opportunity or the chance to prove that I can do the job. It was like a catch-22 where you have to have the experience to get hired, but you have to hire me so I can get the experience. So what I realized was a lot of people in HR, they don't have like a cookie cutter way of getting into HR. Some people got into it accidentally. Some people got into it, various ways. I know for myself, I had to kind of strategize in a way. And a lot of that involved networking and involved getting involved with HR professional organizations. It involved doing some contract work as a way to build on my experience. And just figuring out ways to upskill, taking trainings and courses to get certificates and education and things of that nature. So a lot of it all came together. It was all part of my strategy. And obviously it worked out. So
Wow, I'm glad it worked out. I think you are one of the few people that I've spoken with amongst hundreds of people who specifically mentioned that they just fell into recruitment. I love the fact that you had a strategy, you deployed it because you were passionate about it, and it worked out for you. So thank you so much for sharing that, Marcoiya.
Yeah.
A follow-up question for that would be is how do you approach talent acquisition, and what are some of the strategies that you found effective when it comes to looking for talent for the current company you work with, for example, Uber in this case?
Yeah. So the thing I like about talent acquisition is that even though I utilize some of the same tactics in certain ways, the thing I like about it is the strategy piece. So each role, that I cover, it requires, a different skill set, a different kind of experience, maybe even a different work environment. So being able to do research and figure out how am I going to conduct outreach for finding this certain demographic or type of talent, making sure that I'm finding, diverse groups of people and seeing transferable skills. And that's the thing too. Like, of course, you can see the direct, skills that might be applicable to the role, but what are some transferable skills that can be considered, that can be valuable to this role as well? And so I think that's the key piece and the fun piece for me is kind of being a little bit more strategic, thinking outside of the box and figuring out alternative people or skill sets or experience that would be a great either addition or, a fit for the role that I'm recruiting for.
I love that. I think transferable skills is something that's very important because a lot of roles have those specific standardized technical skills, but essentially sometimes you have to wear multiple hats at a new industry, a new role. So it's very important to have those transferable skills. So in case if something happens, you can always manage your skills in a way that would be effective in your new position as well. So thank you so much. Also, you touched upon diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is the buzzword these days. A lot of companies claim that they're promoting DEI, but a lot of them, when you actually dig deep, don't have a lot of initiatives. I know you're big on DEI. So Marcoiya, how do you approach DEI when you're looking for talent? What are some of the strategies that you deploy in order to attract and retain some of the best diverse talent?
Yeah. So when it comes to, sourcing or outreaching to talent, being able to use, diverse resources. I think that's a huge piece of finding diverse talent because, not everyone's going to be on the same platform or the same, professional group or the same organization or whatever may be the case when it comes to finding talent. So putting in the effort to actually come up with different platforms, different resources, different groups I can connect with in order to find that diverse talent and have people from, various backgrounds with various skills, various experience. So those are some of the key things that I do in my role. And then also, just being resourceful for the most part. Making sure that I'm talking to as many different people as possible, considering people and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. It's great to see how where you are in order to attract and retain the best talent. Last two questions, Marcoiya.
Yeah.
I think so. Recently, the news came out that Uber faced its strongest quarter when companies were laying off. It added a lot of new positions. So, can you tell us some of the most active positions that you're actively hiring for?
Yeah. So, as far as the roles that I cover a lot of our customer support roles, mainly in our green light hubs, which are just to explain the green light hub. Basically, what they do is provide support for our earners, so the rideshare drivers and also the delivery people, and so that's a lot of the focus for my hiring. And then I also do some for our Center of Excellence, our core services, things of that nature. So right now, I have a green light expert role that I'm working on in Boston. There's also another one in Montreal, Canada, and then another one in Seattle right now. Outside of that, I'm also working on a senior associate for the strategy finance team. So that's another role that I'm working on too, more on the financial side of the business.
Okay, thank you so much for mentioning the specifics and the locations of the role, though this will be very useful for people who are actively looking. Last question, Marcoiya, which is, what does purpose mean to you at work? How would you define that for yourself?
Purpose. I guess for me personally, I look at purpose as my ability to add value, add value to my role, add value to my team, add value to the organization as a whole. I always enter like situations with that mindset of how can I add value? Problem solving. That's something that I enjoy doing. Whether it's a process that I'm problem solving for, whether it's an issue that's reoccurring, whether it's, I don't know, maybe something that's not even there yet, but that could be created to make a process faster or easier or, just better in general, more cost effective, whatever may be the case. So I would say that for me is what I think of is, being able to add value.
I love that. Well, Marcoiya, thank you so much for coming on the show, for showcasing that there's more to life than just yourself. How you can add value to other people, and just looking at purpose as a way to make a difference is something that's super important. You've paved your way up the ladder. You managed to help people find their dream jobs. And I'm pretty sure your father is as proud of you as everyone else who you've made an impact on. Thank you so much for coming on the show, for sharing your expertise and the impact that you're making on people, especially when they're looking for jobs.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.